Welcome back for week 2 of Relationship Goals. We hope that week 1 was an inspiration for you and your group. Today I'll be sitting down with Jeremy and Megan Fisher as we talk about relationships finding a common purpose and what it means to be a marriage on a mission. So let's jump into today's session right now. Okay, y'all ready for this?
We ready.
I'm so ready, yes.
It's gonna be fun.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Fisher,
And I'm Megan Fisher.
and I'm one of the teaching pastors here at Sea Life.
I'm looking for the 2-minute version of how you guys met.
2 minutes? Do you want to take this or should I?
I'll start. Apparently, when we'd met before, and I don't remember because he looked totally different.
I had a huge beard. I legitimately looked like I came out of some backwoods
You look
country. Apparently, I looked dirty. Yeah, had a huge beard, and then I introduced myself to her because I thought she was really cute. And apparently, she's blocked this from her memory.
I don't remember. Yeah.
I just remember seeing her one night, super cute girl that just showed up on the scene, and so introduced myself. That apparently didn't go very well, so I went back, cleaned up, shaved, started to look a little bit better, and then finally reintroduced myself to her where still remember she was playing basketball with some kids in the middle of this gym. And you remember this.
I remember this. I do remember.
Yeah, so she's shooting half-court shots, and I walk over to her, and I'm like trying to dribble this basketball. I'm not an athlete at all, but I'm dribbling this basketball over to her, and one of the first things I tell her, I just make a wager. I'm like, hey, if I shoot this shot and I make it from half court, you got to go on a date with me.
No. He said, if I make this, you have to be my honey.
Okay, I wasn't gonna put it like that. Yes, I said you got to be my honey. I don't know why I said that, but yes.
So he granny shoots it.
I wasn't gonna say that either, but yeah, I granny shot the basketball and I made it. I made nothing but net.
He made it.
And so the rest is history. One date later turned into a marriage and 3 kids. And here we are.
Knowing each of you, I know you each have very different personalities. So how have you navigated that in marriage?
Yeah, the first thing I kind of think of is we did, I don't know if it was last year or a little while back, we did a beach vacation. First vacation we've done in a long time together, just the 2 of us.
Yeah, since our honeymoon,
Yeah, and super pumped for it, couldn't wait to get out there. And when we got to the beach, Megan wanted to put an umbrella up and sit down and read a book for the whole trip. And I thought, what are we doing right now? You got the ocean in front of you, you got all the waves. Let's get the jet skis out. Let's go deep sea fishing. Let's go parasailing. Let's do all the things. And for her, that didn't seem like it was like a...
I mean, it's fun, but my idea was just to relax without the kids, read my books like I like to do.
Yeah. And while we were on the trip, this trip that was supposed to be just so magical and awesome, it ended up being...
It was not.
It was just so full of contention. Yeah. And on the other side of it, I really consciously remember looking back and saying, you know what? Honestly, the whole trip, I was so selfish. All I could think about was, this is what I want. This is how you do a trip. This is the fun involved. And what's crazy, I mean, I think every marriage out there will tell you this, but there's a reason that I've got the person that's like the grounding with me. We both have helped each other grow in these different areas. Like, I've never been a super cautious person, have not thought a lot about what consequences are. Then I get married and we have kids and we've got so much more to think about, and Megan has helped me really think through what the follow is with different choices and things along the way. Likewise, I think for her, I think you'd say, like, as far as opening up, meeting people, putting yourself out there, like... Yeah, so it's a good thing.
Talk to me about this idea of her being your ministry partner. What does that look like?
Yeah, so, and I honestly, I mean it less like in the 9 to 5 or whatever, but just in ministry, there are so many days you come home and you're just, how am I going to do this? What's going to happen? I don't know about this. Where are we going with this? All the questions. And Megan, if there's anything that I feel like my wife is really gifted at, she is the most loyal person I've ever met. And so when I say like ministry partner, I mean somebody that when I come home and I don't have the answers, she is so good about just being rock solid. And when I'm frantic and frenzied and all the things, she's, Jeremy, calm down. It's going to be fine. Truly just a partner that's lifting me up and supporting me along the way. Like, she's the rock.
What's your advice to couples who are not in ministry about how they can be true partners for one another?
I just know for her, communication is such a big deal. Like, she wants to know what's going on, and it's not ministry specific, church specific, right? Somebody goes off to their 9 to 5 or just at a regular job or whatever. It's so easy to compartmentalize your life, right? And then you come home and where you have things in common is just what's going on in the walls of your house. I know that for Megan, she just loves when I let her in and I let her know what exactly is going on.
I even ask what he eats for lunch that day sometimes.
And then I tell her, well, me and Jared went to Snuffers.
Let's talk about kind of the big shift in both of your lives, okay? Last year, major new chapter. You have transitioned from student ministry to helping lead the charge with our new campus launch in Canton, Texas. Take me to these beginning moments in this thing. What has stepping into this transition been like for both of you?
This started, I don't know, 10 years ago, it felt like God was calling us to plant a church somewhere, kind of spun the globe around, put my finger on a city, and felt like that's the place we're supposed to go. And so we've really been waiting for a long time. Even while we were in youth ministry, felt like that's something we talked about all the time, where we're going next and what's going to happen. And so when I started to begin the conversation with the co-pastors about it, and we had landed on Canton, I remember our first discussion was, where are we going? And it took a little bit for us to wrap our minds around it. And so, my first thought was not, let's lead the charge, let's do this. It was, I think, both of us just hitting our knees praying, being like, does this seem right? Is this what God has shown us? And honestly, I think both of us along the way have had to come to grips with the fact that God was calling us to plant a church, but it just looked different than what our expectations were. And which is probably a perfect, little segue here for what we're talking about here in the relationship series. A lot of times, like, your expectations can be one thing, and it's really the differences that really make things count. And so, it was crazy to find all this out at first, but the more we've gotten to settle in, I feel like it's really clear that this is where God has been leading us.
So we're talking about mission-driven relationships. This is a mission. How are you working together? How are you supporting each other during this specific mission?
Yeah, at least to me, it doesn't feel that different than previous seasons. And mostly, I think, because we have got the ministry and home thing down to a science as far as like what we are both doing. This is the world's greatest mom, and this house would fall apart without this person.
With even special needs kids at home and the different things that come up, like I know that I can call him at work, and usually he will step out and help me deal with that, even if he's not physically here, because he's Zeke's guy and I can't sometimes calm him down. So that's even become a science for us. He knows when he sees me calling that
if I see FaceTime, it's like, oh, we got to go. I got to step out.
So he'll step out of meetings even to help me deal with that. So even though if he's not physically here, he still will be intentional.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that, because just parenting children, that's an adventure. Parenting a special needs child, that's a different kind of adventure, and that's a challenge for sure. Walk me through that, how y'all kind of are on mission together in that.
Yeah. So we've...
Can we go back to the start, though? Because we weren't. It was really hard at the beginning with this.
Yeah.
I was advocating for Zeke, thinking something was not quite right. This one did not. He fought me tooth and nail.
Yeah.
I booked the doctor's appointment. I took him. I did everything alone because
I'm going to own it. I was wrong. I was way off.
It was...
When we first started talking about it, she had seen all kind of the signs that something developmentally was wrong with him. for me, I just kept thinking, like, the kid is fine, like, he walks different, he talks different, he's grown different. Who cares? Like, he's my kid. Of course he's different. Like, he's gonna be fine. But she knew. She knew some, like, mother's intuition or something. She knew.
As Zeke got older, it was really obvious because now he's more angry and more vocal and he's physical. And so it's harder for me. He's getting stronger than me. And so we work together in a team because I can't do it. I just can't. I'm willing to admit that. And it was really hard for me at first because I'm his mom. I should be able to help him and fix him. And so that was hard for me, but this guy is his man, his person.
Yeah. It's been tough, but we've said for a long time, like, we think that the world will know Jesus because of Zeke Fisher.
Yeah.
And as much trouble as that kid is, as hard as he is sometimes, man, I would never, ever trade it.
Yes, the physical stuff is tough, like his meltdowns and like me carrying him from the front of the school as he's punching me in front of all the cars lined up. Like, that stuff's hard, but I think the emotional aspect of it is 10 times harder.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you are doing a great job with it.
You had to talk about Zeke. I was doing good.
Man, I just, honest to God, I cannot imagine doing that one alone. That is
when he's absent and that stuff's going on, like, it just shows me how important this is.
We've got this new chapter at Canton. It's just kind of beginning. What do you foresee some of the obstacles could be for you guys, and how are you going to deal with those as they come?
I think for me, just being raw and honest, is sometimes when he's that involved and it's not as present at home, I get a little bitter towards the church, towards the jobs, and it makes me not want to be involved. So it's that constant reminder and just like, we're in this together, and just like, bring him back down, remind him.
And like, the more I kind of pull her in to be a part of it, like, it feels like this is an us thing and not a me thing.
And then me reminding him, if that doesn't need to be handled tonight and it can wait till tomorrow, then put your phone up. That kind of thing. So definitely team.
Yeah, I love that. Let's kind of park there for a second because I bet there's a lot of wives out there, whether their husband's in the ministry or whatever his job is, it's important to him. He's all in on that. And it can go the other way too. But specifically talking about you as a wife, maybe giving advice to some other women that struggle with, I've got resentment towards my husband's job or his bosses or what he's doing. What would your advice be to wives out there that are dealing with that maybe right now?
The church answer, pray for them. When you pray for them, there's something very humbling in that. Just you're having to pray for those things that you're having tension with. It just grounds you a little bit more. When
she talks to me about it, and it's not coming at you, you know what I'm saying?
It's not anger.
The moments when she said, like, there's a different way to say, hey, put your phone down, or get off work right now. Like, there's a different way to say that, and the ways that she's found to just be kind of a little crafty with it, gentle, like it disarms me a little bit to where I remember, like, yeah, she's right. What am I doing?
How have you seen Jeremy relying on God in this season?
I think it's been easier for him in this season than past because he's learned. He had a really tough season where even doubted his faith at one point.
Yep.
And I think it has brought him to a place where he is more just faith-based. He knows, like, nothing's going to go right if I'm not taking steps to be right with God. So in the mornings he gets up early and before he wakes the kids up for school, and he's in here on the couch reading his Bible and praying. And it's really cool too to see in the mornings if I walk out, he's on the couch reading his Bible and our daughter's sitting there watching him.
Yeah.
Jeremy, tell me what in this season of life really inspires you about Megan.
Man, this is easy. She is everything that I am not. She is so consistent, so faithful. Yeah, for me, I'm just, I am really grateful to be beside her because truly, she is my opposite, but she is my better half.
All right, parting advice from you two, something you wish, relationship advice you wish you had been given sooner in life that now you would like to impart to others.
I think that this goes for people in relationship and people who want to be in relationship. Don't settle. Oh my goodness. I just feel like in the race to get to where you want to be, I'm watching so many people recently, friends of mine, family members, people in ministry, people alongside me, settle for a spouse, a marriage, status quo, or whatever. Don't settle. And I feel like in our marriage, in fact, just the fact that we met from the very beginning in that janky gym at that church, that 1 in a million basketball shot, that was a moment where I thought to myself, like, I'm not going to settle. I don't want to settle. He has the best for you. He has the best plan for you. Don't settle.
Thank you so much for sharing, being real, being raw, being open. I think it's going to be so good. It's going to help people, inspire people, and set some relationship goals.
Let's go.
Well, we hope this conversation was an inspiration to you. And if you'll look in the description, you'll see a link to our discussion guide questions. And as always, we encourage you to keep the conversation going as you discuss relationship goals in your groups. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.